Hey everyone, welcome back to Sully Mama's Kitchen. Today is a beautiful fall day here and it is apple season. So this is the perfect time for me to show you a really quick and simple apple hand pie recipe. I don't make the puff pastry from scratch, don't worry. I'm gonna show you a really quick and easy way to do this and it can be done in minutes. And it's great for kids to grab and go to school or even for you to have a little dessert. So let's get cooking. Okay, so this recipe couldn't be any easier. You will need some apples. I'm using a mixture of Granny Smith apples and Macintosh apples. And for good reason. Granny Smith, of course, because that's a typical baking apple, but because Granny Smith apples will hold really, really well. They are very tart, but they will hold up well in the pie. I like to add a little bit of Macintosh because it gives really good apple flavor and it will cook down and you'll get a bit of a sauce. So it'll hold up and you don't need to add any flour or any kind of thickening agent into your hand pies. Okay, so once you've peeled, you can now dice. I like to just cut around the apple to make your life easier. And don't waste this, you can snack on it. And then the Macintosh, don't worry, cut them into about 1/2 inch cubes because they're gonna melt. You'll notice that they will melt right away in your pan. Okay, so we're ready to cook our apples. So to begin, I have a fairly wide skillet and you're gonna wanna melt some unsalted butter. I got about 3 tablespoons worth. Just let it melt. Okay, once your butter has melted, you can toss in all your apples all at once. Whoops! Try not to make a mess like me. It's fine. And then you can add your sugar, just using regular white sugar. I suggest start with 1/2 cup because the Granny Smith apples are quite tart. And then you're gonna wanna add some lemon juice. Use what I say to use. I'm not gonna measure. It's about 1/2 a lemon for me. And then now you can add your spices. It's really simple. You'll wanna add some cinnamon, good old cinnamon, a dash of nutmeg, and because I forgot to take it out, a little bit of salt. And that's it. So you're gonna wanna cook this down. You can leave it on medium high, let it cook down. It's already leaching out a lot of liquid because like I said, that Macintosh apple is gonna start cooking down and it will basically almost become applesauce. And then with the sugar in there, it's gonna caramelize and it's gonna be so good and it smells so good already. So you're gonna wanna cook these. You're gonna wanna cook these until the Granny Smith apples are tender. Okay, so it's been about maybe 10 minutes, maybe not quite, but apples are soft. As you can see, the Macintosh apple has completely melted in the pan, which is exactly what you want. Like applesauce, and your Granny Smith apples should be fork tender. Literally fork tender. And then that's it. You can turn off your heat. And then the one thing you're gonna wanna do is cool this mixture completely. So it is fall here, like I said, so I'm literally gonna stick my whole pan outside and hope no animals come and get it, but just let it cool completely before we can actually fill our pies. Okay, so we're ready. Like I said, I make your lives easier. I buy puff pastry already rolled, ready to go, and it's even in parchment. Like, could it be any easier? Of course, if you can't find it, then you're gonna have to buy, the ones in the box, and then you're gonna have to roll it out. These are pre-rolled to about 10 by 10. And because I don't like to waste, I'm just gonna reuse the parchment that was in the package. And all you're gonna do is cut this one sheet into 4s. Now I'm just using a pizza wheel to make my life easier, but use a knife, use whatever. And that's all. Transfer these sheets onto your baking tray that's lined with parchment so that we can begin to fill. Okay, so now we're ready. Now you're just gonna wanna take a spoonful of your apple mixture, like just over a teaspoonful, because this stuff, you can't overstuff it. It's gonna blow up everywhere. And just put it on the corners. I like mine in triangles, but I mean, you can make whatever shapes you want. You can make them, I can show you different shapes. But big tip here is make sure that your dough is kept in the fridge after you've defrosted it. You don't want to be working with warm dough. So all you're doing is folding it over into a triangle. It's as simple as that. Just fold it over and just press down the sides to make sure that they've sealed. But then to make sure it's really sealed, I will show you something else to do. But let's fill the rest of these. Okay, now to make sure that your edges are properly sealed, because you don't want the stuff blowing up in the oven, is just take a fork and just press along the edges to make sure that you've really sealed everything. Okay, once you've crimped your edges, all you're gonna wanna do is just brush it with a bit of egg wash. And all that is just 1 egg with about a teaspoon of water. That's it. Just take a brush and just brush the tops, and that'll make it nice and golden brown. Okay, and the next thing you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to let some of that steam out when it starts puffing in the oven. So all you're gonna wanna do is take a knife and just slit a little bit at the top. Just 2 little holes. And then this step is totally optional. You don't have to do it. I like it to make it look nice, but you don't have to do it. You can totally just stop here and shove it in the oven, totally fine. But I like to sprinkle the top with a little bit of vanilla sugar. And that is just literally, as you can see, use an old jar here, and I fill it with regular sugar, and then a couple of vanilla bean pods that I've split, and I let it sit in here, and then it becomes vanilla sugar, and that's it. So I just sprinkle it on the top so it gets a really nice golden crunchy top, and that's it. It's ready for the oven. Put it in a 375-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until it's golden brown and bubbly on the inside. Too bad you guys can't smell my kitchen right now because it smells so good. Flaky crust. And the apple filling is still warm. It's so good. My kid already stole one. Who needs apple pies anymore? Just make this. It's so much easier. And it's so good. Give it a try. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you like videos like these, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and little bell so you get notified every time I put out a new video. For full recipes, you can always check out my website, and don't forget you can leave your questions and comments below. See you next time.